Hi, I'm Michael Ferraro and we're cooking at Delicatessen. Today we're going to be making our home-style meatballs. We're going to start with our garlic. Here we just have whole cloves of garlic. I'm going to smash them. You want to be minced very fine for this recipe, since the garlic is only going to be cooked while the meatballs are baking in the oven. If there's thick pieces, they might be a little bit overpowering. All right, once you have the garlic minced nice and fine, we're just going to put that off to the side. Going to move on to the herbs. For the herbs, we have a bunch of fresh basil. Basically, we just want to chiffonade this. For the basil, it's all right if the pieces are a little bit bigger in it. Using fresh herbs in this recipe is really important. You really want that freshness. Since the meatballs only cook for about 20 minutes, you really get that fresh flavor of the herbs. Here we have our fresh parsley. It's just been rinsed, dried. I'm not going to worry about taking it off the stem. I'm just going to chiffonade it right down till we get to the end. It's fine. Again, this is a really rustic recipe. The recipe actually comes down from my father. The recipe is about 50 years old. So again, the finished product looks great, but as we're going through it, a rough chop for the parsley, fine chiffonade for the basil is fine. So here I have 5 pounds of fresh ground beef. The blend that I use for this is 80-20, 80% lean meat, 20% fattier meat. So it comes together real simple. We want to use your hands for this. It works best. Even when we make large batches at the restaurant, we use our hands. If you use a mixer, the friction might warm the meat a little bit. You start to melt the fat. Doesn't really get the same texture. So into our 5 pounds of beef, we have 5 whole eggs. Here I have coarse ground fresh breadcrumbs. Really important ingredient, we have Parmigiano Reggiano cheese. I use the Reggiano in this recipe because the crystallization of the salt really comes out in the meatballs. Here I have a little bit of dark brown beef stock. This helps to keep the meatball moist. Also a little water. You want the water to be nice and cold also. Helps keep the fat in the beef stays together. Again, when you're mixing this, you want everything to be very cold. If it starts to become to room temperature, you're going to lose the texture in the final product of the meatballs. Here we just have some sea salt, fresh ground pepper. Then we go in with our basil, parsley, and fresh garlic. Then you just get in there with your hands. Just until everything is evenly combined. That's when you know it's ready to start rolling. All right, so now we're ready to roll out our meatballs. Here we have our mixture. Here I just have a bowl of water that I'm going to just dip my fingertips in there, kind of moisten out my hands a little bit. It's going to help me out from the meat not sticking to my hands. So we're going to go for 2.5 ounce balls. Again, you can make them any size. If you'd like to make them smaller, 1 ounce. If you want to make them really big, 4 ounces, that works also. So I'm going to continue to roll these out, and then I'm going to pop them into the oven for 20 minutes. All right, so now we have our meatballs that are out of the oven. Basically, we just serve them with a classic red sauce. They're imported Italian tomatoes, garlic, onion, basil, parsley, and oregano, and brown beef bones. So we're just going to go ahead and put our meatballs into the hot sauce. Okay. These are actually great to hold them in this sauce also. Not too hot though, because you don't want to melt the extra fat in the meatballs. So here we have our cast iron skillet. Going to pour a little bit more sauce over the top. Here we have chiffonata fresh basil, some grilled baguette, and we're going to top it with some more Parmesan Reggiano cheese. And there you have it, Giorgio's Meatballs at Delicatessen.